So number 13, you have 12 minus x squared. You may remember that before you could factor, you want to put it in a standard form. So let's take 12 minus x squared and factor it down here, okay? You may recall when you're factoring, you put it in standard form first. That's always the first step. So it's negative x squared minus x plus 12. But when you're factoring, you never want a negative sign. It's a negative leading coefficient. So you factor it out, and that changes all the signs. So that changes that to a plus, plus, minus. And then, now that you don't have a negative number in front of that x squared, do the AC, it's negative 12 and 1. And what two numbers multiply to negative 12 and add a 1? 1 and 3? 4 and 3? Which one's negative? Well, if the 4 is negative, then that makes negative 1, right? So it's negative 3. So that makes x plus 4, x minus 3. Right? And then when I factor x squared minus 8x plus 15, and maybe you don't even do this part because you can do that part in your head, it's already in standard form. There's no negative leading coefficient. What two numbers multiply to 15 but add to negative 8? Negative 3, negative 5, right? So it's x minus 3, x minus 5. Alright, so we factored the numerator. The numerator, 12 minus x squared. That makes negative, break those up so we don't get those confused. But that made this one, right? Negative x plus 4, x minus 3. And then x squared minus 8x plus 15 made x minus 3, x minus 5. Now what are the common factors? X minus 3, cancel them out. And so you're left with negative x plus 4 over x minus 5. Now you may also see this written a lot of times. What people like to do, if there's a negative out there by itself, they like to just bring down the negative here, and then you could write it as x plus 4 over x minus 5. You may see it written like that. That's the same thing. So all they did was move the negative sign out there. Okay. And even sometimes you see where people distribute the negative, and so they put negative x minus 4. It's all the same thing. Okay. So when you get to your answer and you're like, what? So you could write this as negative x distributing the minus 4 over x minus 5. So technically, this is correct, this is correct, this is correct. I think the way I would prefer it would be like this. I think that looks a lot neater. But when you're on your quiz and you write it like this or this, it's the same thing. Okay? It's like putting a 1x instead of an x. It is the same thing. Okay? Now you may also see in the book, to go along with the answer, that x can't equal 3 and x can't equal 5. Okay? Now what that means is x cannot be 3, x cannot be 5. Those are what we call excluded values. And the reason why they're excluded is because when you plug 3 in here, 3 minus 3 is 0, and you can't divide by 0. 5 minus 5 is 0, and you can't divide by 0. Now you could have 0 in the numerator, so that's why we don't look at the numerator. Okay? Excluded values are good to know. That's not where our concentration is going to be. So all I'm looking for is this part. But in the answer key in the book, they also have the excluded values. Okay? Just know what that means. Okay? But you don't need that part. Questions?